Hello, my name is Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 31 of my 1 Billion Iron Ingot challenge in Minecraft 1.16. In today's episode, I am going to set up a fusion reactor from the mod Mekanism, so let's get started. So the first thing that I actually need to do is, let's actually go ahead and set up the fusion reactor, and because I need to actually start getting a laser amplifier with a bunch of energy to kickstart the reactor. So let's grab the things that we'll need to build the reactor. And the reactor is actually kind of oddly shaped. So let's go ahead and start making this thing. Each side is going to be shaped like the bottom here. And on the inside faces, essentially, we are going to use reactor glass. You can go ahead and use the reactor frame for the rest of this, I believe. But it's going to be cheaper to use reactor glass. And that is incorrect placement right there. So let me see if we can't build this pretty quickly here. It'll probably be more efficient if I kind of build this glass portion of the next several layers here first, and then we can go ahead and add the fusion reactor. Fusion reactor casings next. So yeah, you can kind of see the shape taking form here. And okay, so that's that layer. Let's go ahead and work on the next layer here. And more reactor glass. And then this top layer is going to be exactly the same as the bottom layer there. So let's go ahead and make the rest of this reactor glass. And then fill in the areas here with the fusion reactor frame. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the rules are for where you can put the reactor controller. I'm going to try to put it on the side right here. I think, oh, apparently that's not valid. Maybe it has to be on the top. So let me try that. I've seen other designs where it's been used in the top on those designs. So let's try that. So this is not valid either. So I'm still doing something wrong here. I think I have the shape right. Oh, hang on. I'm missing a block over here. Maybe that's the reason. So let's put this block here. Okay, so it does say it's formed. Let me go ahead and try to move this reactor controller. I'm not 100% sure if I can do this, but I would like to have it right here, if that is at all possible. That is not. So that's fine. I'll just keep this on top, and obviously I can fly, so it's not really a big problem to get up here to the top. So it does look like it is formed right now. So there are a few things that we're going to need to do. The first is to actually kickstart the reactor, we need to give it a lot of power through the laser focus matrix. I'm going to place that over here. I believe I can place it anywhere. You know what? I'm not 100% sure that I can place it anywhere. So I'm going to place it in the middle on the side. I know that that should be a valid location. So yeah. I don't know why I keep dropping this stuff. So what we're going to have to do is we have to have this laser amplifier basically pointed at this laser focus matrix. And that will be how I kickstart this reactor. Let's go ahead and put the laser focus matrix right here. And then I'm actually going to have to rotate that so that the red dot is faced towards the focus matrix. And I should be able to do that with the configurator. So let me, I need to have this set to wrench mode. Sorry about that. I held shift there, and that was probably the wrong thing to do there. So let me, okay, so that's fine. That should work. Let's just rotate it over here, and that should be fine. So as you can see, this thing can hold 2 GFE, and I believe to kickstart the reactor, we need it to have 1 GFE. Giga Forge Energy, I think, is what that would stand for. So this can use redstone signal, and we are going to do that. No, we're not going to do redstone output. We need redstone input. I believe I want it to be on normal. So basically, when I give it a redstone signal, it will discharge into the reactor there. So let's go ahead and set up lasers. I believe I need to point lasers at this thing. So that was not what I wanted to do there. Oh, shoot. How much damage? How far did that go? Did that go through all of my glass? I did not know it would do that. That's actually kind of cool and kind of frightening because I didn't hit anything critical. I just hit a bunch of glass. But yeah, so yeah, make sure that you're pointing this in the right direction. They do have energy because they are taking energy from my flux capacitor. So I think what I need to do is let's go ahead and I did the exact same thing. So let's try this one more time. Okay, so yeah, that should be feeding energy into the laser amplifier. And I actually want to do that a few more times here. I want to set up 3 lasers to go into the laser amplifier, just so that I can charge it a little bit faster. This thing it will take a little while to charge. That's not super a problem though. I do want to hook these guys up to energy. So let me grab some of the ultimate cable here to do that. Ultimate universal cable. And unfortunately, I think this is the best way to go about this. So let's actually get rid of this, and then I can just run this downstairs to my energy. Let's just do it right here. Actually, no, let's do it back here. Because if I just run it straight down from, say, right here, I have conduit under there, so yeah, that'll be better. And let's go ahead and make this look nice and tidy. I probably have a little bit of time because this is going to take a little while to charge. Okay, so that's cool. The thing should be charging now. I do need to go ahead and give this thing a lever. Can I put a lever on top? I'm not entirely sure. It does not look like I can. I should be able to do one underneath, I think. So if I do something like this, yeah, that works. So I did just run through all the energy I had in it, but I know that that works. Also, if I go ahead and check my reactor, it should have a little heat. Basically, and I'm not sure where you can take a look at the recipe here. Okay, here's kind of the information that you'll need. So the minimum injection rate for your fuels is going to be 2. You need to get to this temperature before the reactor will start reacting, or before it will ignite. If we go back, we can see that I didn't get anywhere near that. I got to 1.1 megakelvin, and I actually need it to be 100 megakelvin before it will ignite. And then these two temperatures right here, the fusion reactor won't explode or anything. That is just how much heat or how hot the reactor and the casing will be. And then the passive generation will be 400 kilo forge energy per tick. That's a lot of energy for a basic, pretty basic small injection rate of fuel. So I should be able to actually handle a much larger injection rate than that. So what I wanted to go ahead and do now is I do want to go ahead and set up the valves or the inputs where I'm going to have my fuel inputs and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can't do that on the bottom side. And let's do one of them right here and one of them right there. I kind of think I should be able to put these here, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if that formed up. It does look like it did, so that's cool. So now I just need to get this party started. I need to get the fuels in here. So one of them is going to be the tritium fuel. I have a bunch of tritium made. There's a lot of tritium in the pressurized tube here as well, and then the deuterium over here. So what I actually want to do right now is I want to go ahead and set up a chemical infuser to make a little bit of the combined fuel, because to kickstart the reactor, not only do you need to give it energy, you actually need to have this whole here. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. Basically, you just need to have just a little bit of fuel in here, D to T fuel. And let me go ahead and show that real fast. You just need a little bit of this stuff in there. I think it's 10 millibuckets, so it's really a super insignificant amount. But to make that, you need the chemical infuser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chemical infuser here. And for the gases, I want input 1 to be on the right and input 2, sorry, on the right, and then input 1 on the left. So let's go ahead and get the ultimate pressurized tube here. And let's go ahead and hook this up real fast. So there is our deuterium. It is flowing into here. And let's set this up over here to be inputs 2 from the right. And what we can do here is we can tell it to eject on the left. So this will give me a little bit of this D to T fuel. And now we have this thing filled up. So what I can do now is I can actually tell this to not accept anything anymore, because I don't need any more of this D to T fuel. I have what I need right here. So now let's go ahead and hook everything up to the reactor so that we can get our fuel in it. So, sorry, this is not super the best way to do things. Oh shoot, I knew I was gonna do that. So what do I have in here? I have lithium. I don't want lithium to go in there. Can lithium come into here? Good, it can't. Fuel. Yeah, okay, so basically I just want to get rid of this lithium out of here. And it looks like it's night, and that's why the lithium is piling up. So what I can do is sleep, and the lithium is piling up because the solar neutron activator is what turns the lithium into tritium, and obviously that doesn't work during the night because it's solar activated. So that should get rid of the lithium in there, and let's see if that's the case. So let's go ahead and actually, for right now, let's tell this to not eject on the top side for right now, because I want to have this be empty. And then how do I want to run this? Because this is kind of in the way. So let me grab my configurator. Let me actually disconnect. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to wrench it, or not wrench it, but disconnect. Actually, it might just be easier if I just run it straight down. And then there's no super good way to do this, to be honest. Let's take it out this way, and then we will have to disconnect those, but that's not a super big deal. So this should be empty, that should be empty. So when I go ahead and place that there, it should fill up. And let's see if the reactor is getting some of that deuterium there. So if we go to the fuels, it is, so that's cool. That's what I want to see. Now we just need to do the tritium, and the tritium is going to be kind of the same here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these 3 down first, and then let's go ahead and disconnect these. And then we can go ahead and hook that up there. We'll tell this to eject on the top side now. So now we have tritium in here, and we'll just run this down from here, and then we should be able to run it over. And actually, I knew that was going to happen. Knew it. Is there any way I can get the tritium out of here? Because I don't want it there. Yeah, if I get a tank. So let's grab a tank. I do have under, I think, 64,000 millibuckets there, so that is good. So let's put this tank here. So that should be empty now, so that's cool. Yeah, that was just kind of a dumb blunder on my part, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave this tank here, I think. There's no real reason for me to move it. Let's go ahead and disconnect it, though. So, yeah, just disconnect it all the way around. Let's grab the configurator and disconnect this manually. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and tell this to eject once again on the top side. So we should have lithium flowing, and we should have tritium flowing over here, and we see that is, yeah, that is the case, I think. So let's go ahead and go upstairs and make sure that the reactor is getting everything that it needs. Okay, so we need the fuel. We have the fuel. So the injection rate here, let's start out with the base rate of 2. Yeah, and that's what it defaults to. Actually, since it's not running, it looks like I can't even change it. But that's fine. It is producing a little bit of energy, 5 forge energy per tick as it's cooling. Let's see how much energy we have over here. So this is actually going to take quite a while, it looks like. I'm only something like 1/10 of the way there. I believe that once I get it to 1 gigaforge energy, it will be enough. But yeah, that's going to be a little while. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy things up a little bit. And once that is all charged up and ready to go, I will be right back. So finally, I have enough energy in my laser amplifier over here to actually kickstart my reactor. There's one more thing I would like to build though, and that is another induction matrix for this fusion reactor. So I actually have an induction matrix for my fission reactor, but I would like to have one for this reactor as well. So let's go ahead and build that real quick. It's going to be a 5x5 structure. I do have just enough room for that. So let's go ahead and build that real fast. And let me grab a wand because that'll make this a whole lot quicker. And there's my wand. And I'm going to make this 5x5x5. Okay, so let me double check the mode here. Wait, why is this? Okay, so for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like I can just right click in the air anymore. I have updated my mod pack very recently, so maybe that's why. So let me get rid of that torch there because that'll be in the way. So basically I just hold shift and scroll. So that's layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and then on layer 5 here we just need to cover this up. So let's scroll this to be left, right, and then we'll finish that. So this should be completed, but it doesn't have anything in the interior. Once again, to get this thing to work, we need to place these induction cells and induction providers on the inside. I have 10 of the induction cells and then 2 of the induction providers, and I'm going to basically do that as my composition of the inside. So on my fusion reactor here, I do need another fusion reactor port to get the energy from here to the induction or the induction matrix. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to blast a hole, and then in my fusion reactor right here, I'm going to put the fusion reactor port. So if I grab my configurator, I should be able to change this. So I do need this to be on outputs because it will be outputting the energy. And then over here on the induction matrix, I do need the induction port. So if I just hook this up, it should provide power to this right here. So that's cool. And this thing is actually maybe producing a little bit of power right now. Let me double check that. No, it's not, because the plasma is at 300 Kelvin, which is basically room temperature. So it's not providing any power just yet. And actually, before I get this party started, what I want to do is I also want to set up this reactor to toggle on and off dependent. Actually, do I want to do that? I don't know that I want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I had a thought of making this reactor turn on and off with the induction matrix basically when it fills up. But the thing is, I don't actually want to do that because once you stop the fusion reactor, it's kind of a pain to restart. You have to do this process all over again. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to pretty much run it all the time. One thing I do want to see is that if I can take power out of the bottom of this induction matrix, because I'm not 100% sure if I can or not. So let's go ahead and throw an induction port down here. And I do want to set this to be output. Okay, so there's output. I think it's going to work, but I'm not 100% sure there. Yeah, okay, so it looks like it's going to work. And let's go ahead and connect this up to my energy, which should actually just be under the ground here somewhere. Yeah, so if I just run this straight down like so, I should be able to connect it up pretty easily. And I do want to get rid of that just to make things look better, and that as well. But we can just go ahead and connect that up there. So that's cool. And then let's grab the stone here and make everything look nice. Or as nice as we can anyways. So I need one more stone. So that's not super problem. Let's get rid of the stuff we don't need. And that would be most of it, to be honest. So let's cover this up with stone, and we should be able to start the reactor at this point. One more thing I do want to do, or I do need to do, is I need to put this in here. The reactor will not start without that, and I think we're good to go otherwise. This is ready to go. Let's see. Can we edit this now? We cannot right now. Let's go ahead and kickstart this reactor. Let's see here. So we are losing a little bit of heat here. Let's see if we can't adjust this rate. Why is my rate not being adjustable here? Did that work? That did not work. So I'm not really sure why this is not... Okay, so it worked there. I'm not super sure why it wasn't working before. I should be able to do up to 8. The injection rate of 8 because that's how much tritium I can make. I'm actually not super sure how much deuterium I'm making. So actually it is 4 millibuckets per tick. It's exactly 4 at this point. So I can add some speed upgrades to this to speed that up. So let me do that for just... Let me do 2 of the speed upgrades right now. So we'll throw those in here, and as we can see, the deuterium is now increasing in the ultimate pressurized pipe here. The tritium is decreasing, but that might be because it's night outside. If it's night, then yeah, I won't be getting tritium. So let me double check that I am actually getting a surplus of tritium here. I don't want to be running negative tritium here. So the fusion reactor will never blow up. At least that's what the information that I have. So let's take a look at the fuel here. If we look at the stats here, the max plasma temp will get up to 600 megakelvin, and then the max casing temp will be 400 megakelvin, and it will produce a maximum of 800,000 forge energy per tick. As we can see right now, it's producing 600,000 or almost 700,000 kilo forge energy per tick. So yeah, that's a good start. So right now I'm not getting any output into my system. It's not outputting anything into my system, but I think that's because the other induction matrix is actually taking care of all of my energy needs for right now. So that's good. But yeah, I can actually turn this off. I did not mean to keep that on. And I'm not sure how much that was helping my temperature or not helping my temperature at all, but yeah. So this should produce actually just about as much energy as I am using throughout my entire base and stuff. So let me double check that I am getting a surplus of tritium, and yes, I am. So that is good to see. And still getting a surplus of deuterium, so that is good to see as well. So yeah, I think this is a good completed setup and a good place to stop for the episode. So in today's episode, I set up this fusion reactor. Right now it is producing, it will be producing about 800,000 forge energy per tick, which is just a little under what my entire base uses. I also used a laser to shoot out a bunch of glass through my base. I did not realize that would happen. So that's one thing to keep in mind when setting this up, is to not point the lasers in the wrong direction, because they do destroy things. And then I also set up this induction matrix right here, which will basically capture energy from the fusion reactor, and then when the other induction matrix becomes empty, it will start distributing energy to my base. So yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to drop a like down below. And if you enjoy watching modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.